when 21-year-old Dylan Roof allegedly opened fire in one of the most famous black churches in the South.
50 folks injured, many severely, 14 dead in what apparently is the act of a lone gunman at a movie theater in Aurora, Colorado.
So tell me, where are we safe? If we ain't safe at the movie theaters and we ain't safe in the church, let alone the school, then we ain't safe anywhere, because you never know who gonna open, aim, and shoot. Could be the next Timothy McVeigh, James Holmes, Dylan Roof, Omar Mateen, Stephen Paddock, Adam Lanza, or Nicholas Cruz. See, we could protest, we can riot about ending gun violence. I don't see no silver lining, because not much has changed between now and 50 years ago, because why is it we're still fighting the same battle Martin was fighting? Racism seems to be an ongoing crisis, but how can we fix it when we're supposed to stand united? A house against itself cannot stand. It will surely fall, building walls that divide us. Then they try to define us, label us without reading the fine print that we are black royalty. Yet they take killers to Burger King and treat them like your highness. And it's crazy, they can leave the scene without even dying, but if we're driving while black and get pulled over for a taillight, we're the ones shot and murdered just for reaching for our license. Then they swear up and down that we weren't abiding or being compliant, like that justifies it. Then these white killer cops get off without being indicted. If you ask me, that's white privilege at its finest. See, my mission is to give them hope. Yes, so I gave them hope, just like Meek Mill. It's a dog world. It's either kill or be killed. How many of my brothers and sisters' blood is gonna be spilled on this so-called land of the free? Let's just be real. Brock Turner, a white man, raped an unconscious woman behind a dumpster. But how ironic, they will bring up his swimming stats. Yet, promising NFL star Brian Banks falsely accused of rape, but because he is black, they forced him to take a plea deal? Innocent black man did 5 years, but guilty white man got 3 months for the same crime? How is that fair? Okay, see your point on why Black Lives Matter? While Trump supporters scream out MAGA, it's 2019, nothing ain't changed, it's just now caught on camera. We need answers. Whoop, whoop. Cops pull me over. Oh God, now I'm sweating bullets, reaching for my license and registration, praying I don't get a bullet. Judged by my skin tone, I roll down the window, harassed by a racist cop who's still living by that Jim Crow. He takes my license, walks away, pulls up my info, sees that I had no record, no points, clean as a whistle. See a few black heads and wanna pop us like a pimple, until we're just another hashtag, prepare the candlelight vigil. For peace sake, Marvin Gaye is probably turning in his grave. We still singing what's going on. There's a lot of snakes in the grass, a lot of dirt in these politics. We gotta mow the lawn. Since Trump ran for office, his presence exposed them all, like Dog Park Debbie or Barbecue Becky or disgraceful actress Roseanne Barr. And then look at Jesse. Who would have thought he would go as far as paying people to beat him up and call him nigga and fag? We no longer claim him as black. We had to revoke his card. We'd rather trade him for Jane Elliott or Gary Owen. See, they're invited to the cookout. We welcome them with open arms. Okay, just relax. I'm just semi-joking, y'all. But tell me, how did the 16 felony count get mysteriously dropped and he's no longer guilty as charged? If you ask me, that sounds a little fishy and raw. Yeah, okay. That nigga is OJ. He's not the gay modern day Pac, because that's far beyond acting. He gets a round of applause. So he's one of 2 black men that has defeated the odds? Come on. But on a serious note, let's talk about these cops. One false move, pop, pop, guns going off. If we even breathe, y'all swear we provoking y'all. Your guns remind me of my bank account when bills are due. It's overdrawn. Y'all don't think before you act or follow proper protocol. I'm confused. So y'all can break the rules and then expect us to uphold the law? Well, that's the justice system for you. That's how you know it's flawed. Look at Alton Sterling. Someone called saying that they felt threatened, that the man at the mini mart selling CDs had a concealed weapon. Cops rolled up, ain't asked no questions, and within 2 seconds, had him on the ground, pinned down like a bowling ball. Then caught back and aimed at close range, taking more shots than a drunk at an open bar. I'm disgusted. I am so appalled. To see his son break down on the news really broke my heart. How does 2 white cops have him down? One had his arms and legs, the other had his knees and his head and chest, and say he had a gun and try to reach for it. How? He couldn't even move, so y'all know that's false because the whole thing was recorded and placed on the evening news. 2 days later, they murdered Felynz. Couple days after that, 50 people were killed at the Post nightclub out in Orlando. I couldn't find the words like it was a game of Scrabble. I'm so sick and tired of the news. Sounds like a bunch of babble. I just quickly changed the channel. So many people have died in vain. Eric Garner, Oscar Grant, T.IHarris, Sandra Bland, Corinne Gaines, Terrence Crutcher, Christian Taylor, Jordan Davis, Freddie Gray. And let's not forget about Sean Bell, who was murdered on his wedding day. This year marked the 7th anniversary of the murder of Trayvon. Yet, racism don't exist, right? When it's right under your noses, but you decide to turn a blind eye like you're Ray Charles. They say black people stay complaining, always pulling out the race card. Well, you seem to be in the dark about it. So I'm here to shed some light on it like this is Africa and I'm Akon. See, we all should be like Nipsey, a voice to this generation. A light, I was summoned like a seance. See, the media, the government had us brainwashed. They spit on us and try to convince us that it's raindrops, but that ain't nothing new. That's just America's true colors, like a box of crayons. See, racism is like a game of billiards. The cue ball, which is white, objective is to take out the colors, the solids and stripes. Because being black, they are either threatened by our future or they see no future in us, not realizing we are the magic 8-ball. Donald Trump ain't nothing but a modern-day Adolf Hitler, a trust fund kid that made off like Bernard. It's been 3 years and I still can't believe he's the president. Because anytime he talks, I'll be like, please shut the heck up, you good-for-nothing jerk-off. First off, you ain't my president with your hair looking like you shaved underneath your balls and placed them on top of your head to hide the fact that you're bald. Whew, let me calm down. But one fist in the air to all my people that are fed up. It could have been our names written in the obituary section of the Star Ledger. They just want us dead, carried off by pallbearers, or serving time like liquor behind bars like a bartender. And then they wonder why black folks mad. It's because the more this crap happens, the more anger in our hearts fester. They justify the murders by looking up all records, digging up dirt like a pirate that found long-lost treasure. But why dig so deep into the past but don't ever talk about our efforts or strides to get better? Instead, you bring to light our wrongs or broadcast our failures. Then it makes front page and headlines across the cable news network. So they can kill us, and that's the way we're remembered? So y'all point out the fact that we're criminals, but y'all ain't how? When the whole thing was caught on video, don't act like y'all saints now. Where's the justice when my people are being brutally murdered? What is the verdict? Paid leave? A few months of community service? The problem is, when there is black on black crime, there's justice involved. But if a police killed a black man, ain't no justice at all. They still go on charge, using that same old BS excuses like, I fear for my life, man. I thought they were armed. How do you place those mentally unstable racist cops back on the job when their job is to serve and protect? Instead, see us as threats. So if we need help, then who do we call? Ghostbusters? See, your badges need to be turned in and uniform need to be hung up like we do when telemarketers call from an unknown number. See, I can talk about this all day, but at the end of the day, if we truly want change, we can't stay bitter. So where do we begin? According to scriptures, it says hate stirs up strife, but love covers up a multitude of sins. We know prayer changes things, so we should look to him. Don't worry about justice. They have their day coming. God said vengeance is his, and as long as there's sin, racism falls under the umbrella of hate. See, our job is to pray and let love be displayed. They could call us nigger because our skin differ. They could pull the trigger. I have a purpose and my mission won't be hindered. If God be for us, then who could be against us? We serve a God that's bigger. Just remember, as much as we hate to admit it, cops are people too. See, we all are sinners that are in need of forgiveness. So today, I challenge you to this. Do you dare to love? And I'm not stating the obvious because it's easy to love those that love you back. But what about those that hate and cringe at the sight that you're black? Do you dare to love?